banking funds, yes, they've been really bad performers, but that's the state of the sector right now. What we want to know is, does it make sense to hold on? Is it going to get any worse than it is right now? Let me bring in Dhirendra Kumar. Dhirendra, thank you so much for joining us. Well, Nikunj is sighing over banking funds, and a lot of investors join him with that. Over the last 6 months or so, banking funds have been the worst performers among equity funds. Some funds have lost about 35% over the last year. What I want to understand from you is, do you expect a turnaround in these banking funds? Do you think it might get worse?
There is unlikely to be a turnaround unless we see a big turnaround in our economic or, the sentiments change and there is a revival of the economy in some meaningful way. What we see right now is deceleration. What we see right now is high interest rate. So unless we see a significant change in the economic climate, I don't see that happening. But at the same time, the possibility of, going significantly down from where they are right now is not very high. That is the sense which I get from my interaction with the fund managers.
Well, Dhirendra, if investors were to pull their money out right now, they would lose a large portion of their capital. Do you recommend they pace out that withdrawal or wait till we see a turnaround? How should we time our withdrawal at this point?
In the first place, I think, one should not be investing a significant part of one's money into a sector fund. But at the same time, I would say that, banking funds have faced a rough weather in recent time. Last one and a half year, they have had a bad time. But despite the decline, they have been able to post nearly 19% return over the last 5 years. And this is after, the kind of decline they have seen in last one and a half years. So I would say that banking is still one of the mainstream of the economy, is still a relatively mainstream sector. So if we are optimistic about economic revival in times to come, then one can hold it. But I would say that one should not be into a banking fund in the first place anyway.
All right, let's take a question from one of our viewers. Kavita has written in. She's 38 years old. She works for an MNC. She's been investing 10,000 rupees a month in the HDFC Top 200 fund from July 2010. Now, she tells us her investment time frame is 15 years, but over the last 3 years, there's really been no growth in her investment, and she's worried about what it means really to stay with this fund. Should she stop her SIP? Should she move to a balanced fund? Dhirendra, again, a lot of viewers are asking this question. What would you recommend they do?
You still have time on your side, and these 3 years have been generally bad for the market, and most mutual funds, even the ones which have done well, I don't think you would have been much better off, or you would have been wealthier with those investments. But yes, HDFC Top 200 has been more disappointing, and but at the same time, last one and a half year, HDFC Top 200 has been disappointing, but it has an impeccable track record and a very long one. So it may not be the time to give up. I think one should give some more time. But just in case you want to hedge your bets, want to move to a balanced fund, by all means, if you are getting very upset with the lack of performance, and this thing can happen even in future. So I'm not saying that HDFC Top 200 is in for a revival or some kind of turnaround, but it has been disappointing. If you want to move away from this fund and you want relatively more stable growth from your investment, surely you should move your money to a balanced fund. Good balanced fund to choose: Canara Robeco Balanced, ICICI Prudential Balanced Advantage, or Tata Balanced.
All right, Canara Robeco, ICICI Prudential, Tata Balanced, 3 funds to bank on if you're looking for a balanced fund.